Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony, and join with me today on the other three cinematic universes, starting with the Shing Shield, Jared.
What's going on, guys? Armos checking in. My cinematic universe that I would like would be The Matrix.
Whoa.
I think it's
That's perfect. That's a great one. I mean, we're living in it.
right. There's just so much you could do there. And download Kung Fu real quick. Sign me up. Dan, what do you got?
Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I play Menace Pebblewalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger. And I am definitely the green stick man in Alan Becker's stick figure universe. If you've never seen it, it is one of the best cinematic universes, and it's free. All to watch on YouTube. It's better than the Marvel movies. What about you, Alec?
Yeah, my name is Alec. I play Drell of the Ashbourne, and my cinematic universe that I would want to be a part of is the Ready Player One
Son of a
series.
bitch.
Put it in there. I typed it just as you said it.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
the new book, well, not new, but a second one got released, Ready Player 2. If you guys haven't read it, you should. It's good. Yeah. See, I guess I had the it's a movie universe about video games, so that's kind of my loophole.
Yeah, true.
I like it.
True.
What about you, Tony?
You took my answer. I'm not gonna lie, you took my answer because the Oasis is fucking my favorite thing ever. I'm gonna have to go with the Dungeons and Dragons cinematic universe. I don't know if that counts, but there's a whole slew of movies on there.
The one with Chris Pine, or
Have you ever seen the original ones? The one with
Christopher Pine? I don't know.
Chris Pine, but no. What's his name? The cast. Hold on. Marlon Wayne from the Wayans Bros from Dungeons and Dragons 2000, or came out in the year 2000. Fantasy adventure film with supporting actor Marlon Wayne from the Wayans Bros. He played a goblin. Supposed to be a goblin, I think. If you look up the movie, it's terribly amazing. Well, you know the deal. Before we get into the recap, we're going to go ahead and do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by Jared.
All right, guys. I don't know if you've seen our website, but you should go check it out. DND404.com. Give it a look. It's got all the hotness on there, okay? We got merch. We got episode blogs. We got character bios. You can see our lovely faces and pictures of our, just foreheads, basically. But we also got the new merch. It is a DM hoodie. And I gotta say, Chef's Kiss, it's pretty good. I'm wearing it right now.
Oh.
Check it out. DND404.com.
I'm a little flattered, although I also wear your shirt all the time, so.
It's all love.
It's all love, brother.
You guys ever wear my shirt?
Oh, we didn't get to that quarter yet.
Coming soon.
Okay, now you know the deal. I'm going to go ahead and roll. I rolled it. It's a 4.
There you go,
I
Pax.
dropped it.
Don't even. Get out of here.
Even though I want it to be a 4, I can't accept that.
It fell out of my hands. I rolled it.
I accept it because it wasn't me.
SP majority. Sorry, reroll.
Throw it into your bathroom, and then whatever it is.
We lost it last time we did that.
No, I went down the hallway last time. That's what happens. You want to throw
All right,
it?
try to. Yeah. Here we go.
Dude, I'm not left-handed.
Well, you don't have to throw left-handed.
It'll be fine.
Well, that went in the toilet.
See, the problem here is we can't check if he's cheating.
Take us with you.
Give us a Snapchat video.
Snapchat video.
Okay. It's next to the toilet.
I mean,
I don't actually believe you guys because I don't have Snapchat, so you're gonna have to figure something else out.
Add us to a Skype call on your phone.
Yeah, add me on Teams.
it's a 3.
It's a 3.
See, could have had the 4. Could have had
Open
Jared.
that.
Could have had Jared.
I know, but we had to do it honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it with grace. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to speak backwards, and then we're going to reverse.
Just do it all in Pig Latin.
Asle, Aimte, Anye, END, Oro, Forve, Inisme, Ebel, Pocker, Pay. That ain't going to work.
Come on, you got it. You said last time on
You know what? You had me
DND404.
convinced. You had me convinced you're about to fucking pull it off, and I was going to be mad. I was like, damn it.
Aurye, Can, Panions K, Otfe, Aye, Igbe, Ulfwe, Anye, Ede, Idi Pray, Udge, Anye, Atye, Ide, Endye, Eldre, Illyre, Ukfade, Upye, Athe, Ulfwe, Anye, Aune, Ie, Einfe, Himselfe, Inye, Aye, Akipe, Elmre, Ithwe, Isye, Axtory Bay, Agadre, Ardbay, Aplay, Ide, Introye.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is DND404. Well, if you don't know what happened last session, tough titties. Let's go on.
It was the most basic recap, too, because I could not go that long.
Okay. Fellas, boyos, welcome to session 118. We pick up in a unique position. Drell is currently kneeled down with his palm touching the blade of his father's axe. The axe is currently still the size of a very large tavern. Armos and Minas, you look at Drell and you see him. His eyes are closed and his body looks limp. His body is balancing on one knee. You see that his eyes are closed. You can tell that there's a connection between him and the axe. You try to make some noise and there is no response. When you guys attune to any item during your long rests, there's always a moment where you need to have a connection with the item before using it. And it's been a pretty trivial task for you to do that. However, it's taking much longer than the 3 of you are used to, because perhaps there's something going on a much deeper level. Around you, the fog that shrouds over the sea of bones begins to shift. You heard the rattling of bones, and the sea of bones extends on for miles. Mounds of bones. Possibly the prey of Frostoons and its gang of wolves. The area is completely covered by this dark cloud, and the area is like barely illuminated from the shine of the ice peninsula that you are standing on. You hear movement in the distance. Drell, we move to you, and you are in this pocket realm. You had just had a conversation with Edgar the Unyielding, the dragon of rage, the rage that lives within inside of you, the reason why you have frost rot, and the vehicle of your bestial transformations. When you grow a tail, when you grow claws, when you grow fangs, when you activate those abilities, when you tap into that potential, you see a resemblance within yourself and his presence. He is a very beaten, battered, and war-torn dragon. He looks of a blue chromatic descent. Scales are ripped off, scars all over his body, wings are tattered. Enraging him, you are now going to roll for initiative as you stand before him. Now, as a reminder, you are healthy, you have max health, however, you have no gear on you. You just have your pants on and your shirt with the guns out.
Oh, fuck.
And your bare hands.
Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary. That's a 13 for initiative.
13. You know that Edgar lives within you and your bloodline. You have conversed with him many times before, except now he is challenging you to combat as he feels threatened and unappreciated of the power he believes he's been lending you through your journey. And he snarls and he steps closer, and his feet bounce off the empty floor, yet creating echoes of heavy footsteps. He also got a 13 on initiative.
Nice.
And he snarls and he goes, Drell, ungrateful for my presence. The reason you're able to tackle the things you're able to defeat. My power, your puny will to accept. And you see that he lunges at you. And we're going to take a brief pause. We're going to go over to Minas and Armos. You two are now witnessing the rattling of bones and Drell having an out-of-body experience. What's going through the two of your heads right now?
I'm poking Drell with a stick. Hey, yo, we got problems coming.
Help Drell, I'm gonna heal myself. And Menace is trying to use a spell on himself.
Yeah, what are you healing with?
Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Cool. How much health you get back?
20.
And Ormos, are you taking an action at the moment as you poke Drell with a stick?
I'm gonna chug a potion. So I get a potion of greater healing.
Potion of greater healing. Take 20.
And then I drop the bottle as I peer around and kind of scour the scene like we might be here for a minute.
Drop the bottle. So after you litter, you're looking at your you're looking at your surroundings, and you see the fog, and the pathway that you've walked in on has been enshrouded within this fog. You no longer see the pathway. The peninsula seemed to have turned into an island of some kind. You think if you headed south from the way you came, you might be able to follow the path you walked in on. However, it's not visible because of the dense fog, and you hear the rattling of bones. And then the two of you notice something off in the distance. From the direction you came, you have to squint. You feel like you're looking at a mirage of some kind. You see two beings walking through the fog, and they're not of physical nature. You can actually see through them. They look like ghosts. They look like two Goliaths. You do not see any definition on their body, any defining features, except for one looks slimmer than the other. You see a massive, bulkier man with the outline of longish hair, and you see another Goliath of female origin, but with no hair, looks bald, has a oddly shaped double-handed axe that splinters out like a razor blade. And then you see that the male Goliath has a double-sided battle axe. And they are walking through the fog, and they are looking, they seem to be looking around and then looking straight ahead. And then they vanish. Go to rub your eyes. As fast as you blink, you can see the footsteps fade from where they were walking to.
Can I pick up the bottle that I just threw on the ground?
Sure.
I'm gonna cast light on it and chuck it to where the feet were. It just lights up the area in 20 feet.
You cast the light and then you throw it. The bottle goes towards the fog and begins to roll on the floor. And the footsteps that had disappeared illuminate once more. And you see the bottom of these ghostly feet. And you see that it's walking forward and then disappears again. You feel like you just witnessed a moment in time. Similar to a moment when you noticed the Nothic when you were in Shadowfell. We pan back over to Drell as a massive dragon lunges forward. You see this huge dragon flies forward. The flaps of its tattered wings launches itself as it goes to come down for a vicious swipe, taking priority on the initiative. With 2 attacks, Drell hits you with a 30 and a 28 to hit.
Oh, well.
As 2 claws come down.
Yeah, both of those are going to hit.
You're going to take 16 points of damage.
Okay.
And 12 points of damage, both slashing as they come down on you. You will soon learn to appreciate. As you see that this red mist comes from its mouth, its eyes are bloodshot red, and you see that this swirl of energy is around him, almost as parts of his body are etherealized. We're gonna move to your initiative.
I feel like Drell kind of shakes off getting hit. He's gonna go up and he's just gonna try to punch the dragon.
Yeah, he's on all fours after those attacks. And he's like reaching, you can absolutely punch him.
You know what? I'm gonna use my beast claws and I'm gonna try to swipe him back and I'm gonna hit him back with it. That is a 17 to hit.
You see that as your claws stretch out, you see the nails glow, and then you see that body part activate on his body. It becomes more physical, and he laughs at you as your hand turns draconic. He goes, "You think you can use me against myself? You looks like you need me more than ever." And he, as you miss with the 17, as he easily dodges out of the way.
All right, well, not gonna lie, I thought that was probably gonna happen. So how about this? And I swing with my left hand, unarmed strike, and I try to punch him in the face.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna use a luck point on that one.
Sure.
That's a 29 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, it's just a flat 6 damage, I guess, for unarmed strike.
Yeah, so unarmed strike is 1 plus your modifiers, unless you have an ability that allows you to roll.
Well, which modifiers does it use?
Your strength modifier.
So that would be 6 anyways. Yep.
6 points of damage. As he comes in, he's laughing at you, and you come in with your normal fist, and you crack him in the face. And you see that when you hit him, you just punched the dragon in the face, but you definitely felt a little extra oomph. And you see that his face moved. I believe you have one more attack, sir.
I do. And I'm going to punch you in the face again. And that is a 26.
That hits. There's another 6 points of damage.
And then I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, no, that's kind of metagaming. Never mind. I was going to say, this isn't from you. And I'm going to action surge and I'm going to hit him again.
You go, yeah, action surge. You go ahead, you scream at him, and you unleash more attacks.
Oh, God. Oh, thank God. Okay. 28 on the first one, 26 on the second one, and another 26 for the third one.
What does this look like as you just laid out a 3-piece on a huge dragon?
I like to think that Drell is just kind of, from when he was a kid, he used to fight, for fun. All the kids in the tribe used to like box and stuff, and he's kind of originating and going back to his roots in that process, and he's just like swinging and he's landing and then he's ducking and swinging, and he's kind of just using from all the fighting style that he learned when he was a kid.
Yes, you're bobbing and weaving. His wings are coming over your head. You're ducking out of the way, and then you deliver that that nasty 3-piece on an action surge. And you crack him in the face, and he lets out an angry roar. And he slams his foot down again, and he's going to go ahead on his initiative, because you're both on 13 now, so it's just trading blows right now. And he's going to go ahead and try to attack you with a 25 to hit.
That is going to hit.
And a 19 to hit.
A 19 is right on the money.
Yeah, I bet it is. So he's going to deal a total of 23 points of slashing damage between 2 claw attacks.
I would like to use Stone's Endurance as a reaction.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to roll a d12, which is 3. So I'm going to brush off 8 of that damage. So what was the total again?
23 points of damage. And you see that when he comes in for that second attack and you use Stone's Endurance, as you brace yourself, you're in your mind right now. You're fighting this thing within yourself, and you notice that your skin actually hardens as like a boulder as you go to brace for that attack. The smashing of rock explodes off you. The rock comes off you like as if you just shattered through glass as it takes the brunt of that damage. And you notice that when he connects, you notice that his scales are cracking a little bit. And then we're gonna go back to your initiative.
Okay. I think Drell kind of just looks at his body turning stone and kind of finds that, he's not using anything. He's not raging. He's not going into, he's not using the draconic stuff. So he's kind of going back to his roots, I guess, in the way he's fighting this. And that's a nat 20.
Ooh. That's just going to be, since there's no dice to roll, that's just going to be double damage there. So that's 12 damage.
That is going to be a 15 on the second one.
That's going to miss.
Okay. That is only a 13 on the third one.
You see that when you go to punch on those second two, you hit him with the first one, and then he moves his head out of the way as he's juking you. He goes, predictable. You're so predictable. Swing wildly. People going to catch on. Their beings with intellect are going to catch on to your weak fighting styles. You are nothing more than a simple fighting manual.
I'm sorry, a fighting manual?
Easy to read. And he goes to lunge at you, and then we're going to shift back. He walked right into that one, but shift back into...
I get it.
Armos and Minas.
Are we in initiative?
You two are not.
Yet.
Well, yet. I don't know why you're saying yet.
I want to do 2 things. They're both instant skills. Since I'm still pretty hurt, I want to cast Armor of Agathis. It gives me 25 temporary hit points. And it lasts for an hour.
Yeah, that's a pretty great spell. It's a pretty great spell.
And then I'm going to go invisible. Which probably doesn't help, but, just preparing for the worst. Or getting ready to prepare for the worst.
Yeah, now that Minas is healed up, he's running over to Drell and kind of pushed him a little and kind of talking to him. Drell, you good? Drell, what's going on here? Come on, buddy, we gotta get up. Armos, where are you? Armos, go on invisible for a second.
I got the stick. I'm holding the stick still.
I got stuff to do too, but I can't do it if I can't see you.
Oh, okay. And I come back on invisible.
Okay, good. Drell, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're gonna be fine, okay? We're gonna get out of this. And I cast a 3rd level bless on me, Armos, and Drell.
Because it's creatures you can see.
I go back invisible.
Oh, all right, there you go, Armos.
And you just see my stick waving.
I just see the stick. Oh, okay, you're there.
You cast the 3rd level bless.
Drell, come on, buddy, come on.
You can move his body pretty easily, although he remains stoic in place, but his hand is glued to the blade side of the axe. And as you move his hand, you notice that there's like a connection of energy acting as a glue between his hand and the blade bit. And like as you move, you see that his palm is just stuck no matter how you move his arm. You know that he's like connected to the axe. And then you see another visage. There's 2 same beings that you saw walk out of the fog for that brief moment. And then you see them in a different spot closer to you. You see that they're walking to the axe. And almost as if they're going to collide. They're looking at each other as if they're conversing, but they look as if they're scouting around. They're looking at their surroundings. No words are being said. And it looks like they're about to walk into you. And then just like that, through you.
So they're like spirits is what it looks like, correct?
Yes.
Just preparing for everything that that Armos can before, the inevitable might be happening. I cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself. So it's a concentration for 10 minutes. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch, it has protection against the following: aberrations, celestials, elements, fae, fiends, and undead. So the protection grants several benefits. The creature of those types has disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target cannot be charmed, frightened, possessed by them, and if the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature, then the target has advantage on any new saving throws.
So as you cast this spell, you see this red symbol, this glyph, hover just above your forehead as you cast protection from evil and good as you concentrate on the spell. As you see the visage of those 2 beings walking through you, almost like walking into the axe, you look at the other side and you see that the figures had stopped in front of the giant cave, the den where you Frostoon would lay down, so to speak. And they take out their weapons and they're looking like they're ready to fight. And they're going to shift back to Drell. Drell, as you are boxing this dragon, you feel this warmth come from within you. You see that the room around you illuminates more. There is nothing around you. It's a detailless room. However, there is a light that makes the room feel brighter to you as Minas' bless buffs you.
Oh, nice.
And the bless gives you what, 1d4 to all attacks and saving throws?
Yep.
Is it attacks? Attacks what as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
As we're gonna pick up from Egger's initiative, and rather than coming at you with its claw, it feints the attack and is going to swing at you with its tail. That is going to be a 19.
That'll hit.
That is going to deal 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As the tail whirls around and trips you. You are now knocked prone. Move to your initiative, as you just got tail swiped, as it looks back at you and it's like scutters onto the floor. It's on all fours and it's like rearing its head at you, and it laughs. It goes, "It's pathetic. Can't even read the most simplest of attacks. The same tail that you rely on to protect you is now being used against you. How does that feel?"
Well, can you predict this attack? Is it? Can I punch him in the face? Is it my turn?
It's your turn, but you're not prone, so you have to use half your movement to get up.
Okay, so I'll expend 15 feet to get on my feet, and I'll say, "Protect this, bitch." I'm just gonna. Oh fuck! It's a 12. Fuck.
He moves his head out of the way.
Easy. Second attack. Fuck. 13.
The D4s aren't helping there, are they?
Oh my god, I wasn't rolling them. Dan, thank you so much. I don't think it would have helped the 12.
Probably not.
But it's not going to help the 13 either. Nope. I only got a 16.
Let's go to miss.
And the last attack to 21.
That hits.
Finally. And I feel like that was it was like a right hook miss, a left hook miss, and then just the uppercut was the one that finally connected.
You faint out with the last attack as it's laughing at you. Just uppercut him. And then we're gonna move back to Edgar as he laughs, and he's going ahead and gonna try to move around you, staying within your attack range, and he's gonna go ahead and try to use a bite instead of swiping at you with a 27 to hit.
That is gonna hit.
No reactions?
No, I'm saving them.
You're gonna take 21 points of piercing damage here and an additional 8 points of lightning damage as he snaps down, and you see this blue spark within his mouth instantly turn red and his eyes become more enraged as he bites onto your body. We're gonna go ahead and do a grapple check here as he's trying to hold you within its mouth as you hear him cackling with laughter. Go ahead and make me a contested athletics check.
That's a 15.
He rolled a 23. As you are now in the middle of the air, as he rears his head up, he currently has you by the middle of your body, like your legs are inside its mouth and your top half is sticking out, and its teeth are piercing through you. And you don't see any blood leaking from you. Like, you have this tooth piercing through your body. It feels very real, but you don't see any blood. Minus and Armos, going back to where you two are, you see that Drell is bleeding through his armor.
Oh, like we just noticed that he got like something's happening to him.
Yes, you see that like blood is like coming out from his coat and freezing onto the floor.
Armos, bad things, Armos.
And as the blood touches the ice, you see that the frozen blood seeps into the icy ground, and the fog becomes thicker. The rumblings in the distance become louder. You see another visage. Instead of the two getting ready to fight, you see that they are just now have finished a fight. The two visages look tired. The female one has one hand on her knee as if she's trying to catch her breath. The male holding an axe, looking all around, and then you see the outline of Frostoon lying on the floor. Frostoon has looked defeated by the way they're looking around, but they're looking around at other things. And then you see the male Goliath fall to a knee, hand on its chest, and it looks like it's coughing or vomiting or being something like he's reacting to something that's hurting him from within. And then you see this ball of light coming from Frostoon's body, this blue energy, this swirling blue energy that is shining with gold. Minus, you instantly get the sense of like Frostoon's soul from this visage. You felt it when he was reanimated, and you feel it now. And then you see the axe shift within the weakened Goliath's hand as he's taking a knee, as he's being succumbed to some type of sickness. And you see the soul is moving sporadically, and it's trying to move somewhere. It's trying to go somewhere. The female Goliath puts a hand on the male Goliath's shoulder and points out to the sea of bones. As you look out in that direction, and you see all these different types of corpses of skeletons climb up onto the peninsula as they are coming through the fog, and you see a massive horde from either side. You two are being engaged by an army of skeletons. Wow, nobody saw it.
Oh my god.
What? Crazy.
What?
No.
That is insane, dude.
Skeletons? I would have thought werewolves.
As they claw their way up onto the peninsula, you see their bony hands reach up. They do not have any weapons, but none of the two look the same. It looks like if bones just like mushed together into a ball and made some type of humanoid figure. That's how they are presenting themselves. Some of them even look bestial. You notice that as one of them jumps into view, it's the skeleton of a displacer beast. I'm gonna need the two of you to roll initiative.
Oh my god. 0.
Armos with a 0.
Back at it again with a 0. 17 for Menace.
It looks like they're focused on the large axe itself as they're coming up from all sides, but they're all facing the three of you as it looks like they're about to bum rush. And then you see the female Goliath swinging at air, but you assume she's fighting what you're about to fight. And you see that the male Goliath is like on the floor, but still holding the axe, like as if he's trying to maintain some type of concentration. And the soul of Frostoon is trying to attach itself to the axe. It's trying to go somewhere. Starting at initiative 17, Menace, what are you doing?
Gormos, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do much against these guys. I'm gonna try to help Drell, see what you can do, okay? And I'm gonna cast a 4th level Cure Wounds on Drell to see if that can hopefully seep through into his battle. I mean, I don't know what's happening in there, but clearly something wrong is going on, as Drell is going to get 23 points of health back.
Oh, see what is.
And then I'm going to use a bonus action, Writhing Tide, to start floating above Drell 20 feet.
You use Writhing Tides, these SIDS fly up, and in a cool spin ice motion, because all the snow blows up from your hovering. Then we're going to move to initiative 10, which are the skeletons. And on their initiative, they're going to dash as they advance forward towards you. On initiative 10, they rush towards you as they are advancing on you seemingly somewhat quick. It looks like they're all like clawing and jumping and leaping on top of each other to try to get to you. There's no rhyme or reason as long as they get to where you are. And then we're gonna go to initiative 1, Armos.
I can do something to help Drell too, but it just doesn't thematically make sense. So I don't think Armos would do it because we don't know he's fighting or anything. Okay. I am going to then chuck a fireball at anything within range. So we're going to pick whatever's the closest, which looks like this group to the northwest.
Okay, they're going to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. Yep, didn't think they would pass. You hurl this massive fireball over, and like a bowling ball knocking down pins, you destroy easily 16 skeletons.
Oh boy.
As you see their bones, and as quick as their bones are destroyed, you see that there are more coming from the back, instantly replacing them. They're just coming at you in waves.
So I killed 16.
Almost is counted as temp HP.
I will be the wall. All right, so I wind up, I see the closest skeletons marching towards us. I throw a fireball, I killed a group of them. As their souls fly through the air and empower me more, as the incoming fleet of skeletons start coming in on all sides.
And then we're gonna go back to Drell. Drell, you are currently in the mouth of Egger. As he is gripping down, you are considered grappled. And then as the teeth pierce your body, you do feel the relief of being healed, as Menace's heal did in fact help you. As you feel the wound closing up, it's like closing up around its tooth, but you do feel better than you did just a few moments ago. What are you doing as you are currently being grappled?
First, I would like to, can I expend my movement to try to get out of the grapple?
You would have to use an action to do that.
But I can't attack while I'm in his mouth. Like I have to use an action to get out.
You can attack.
Oh, okay.
An action to break out of the grapple. Mm-hmm. You can still make an attack because your top part is still exposed. And you can use your movement. You can technically replace your movement if you would like to make a check of some kind.
Let me attack him first, and then I'll think on if I want to make some sort of check. Yeah, so I just picture myself like putting my hands together and trying to like just like club down, like and like swing my fist down on his mouth as he's like grappling me. Oh my god, okay, I have to use a luck point. That is a 21 to hit. It's a nat 1.
Going to miss. Your hand slides off his face.
And that is a 27. So 12 damage total.
You clasp your hands together and you're just banging down on the side of his cheek as you feel yourself like cracking through the scales along his cheek as you see that he winces but grips tighter. What else are you doing?
I would like to bonus action second wind
Okay.
to give myself more HP. So that is 29 HP that I get back. That is going to be my turn.
Going back to Edgar's turn, you see that you hear his growl reverberate through your body as he rears his head up, and you feel the singe of lightning as red energy explodes within his mouth. You are going to take 32 points of lightning damage. And it's just shocking your whole body. Your hands let go from its clasped position as you were like hammer fisting down, taking that damage. And then as you like loosen up for just a second, he's going to slam his head down as he's slamming you into the floor. Because you're grappled, it's an automatic hit. It's going to be 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And as we move to your initiative, as he rears his head back up, back to a neutral position, still grabbing onto you, you notice your eyes are like coming through. They're like hazy just from taking so much damage. You were just shocked. You feel singed, horrifying feeling. And you notice that when your eyes open for a second, you look and you see this pair of feet in front of you, very muscular legs, and like your eyes are all blurry, and then your head lifts back up rapidly, and it is now your initiative.
I'm still grappled.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna spend my action to try to get out of it then.
Make me a contested athletics check.
Oh my god. It's a nat 1.
Oh, yep, you're gonna stay. He actually rolled low. He rolled low too. He got a 10 on that one. You're gonna stay grappled as you try to pry yourself open, and he laughs. But then you hear his voice within your mind. He goes, "Need a bit of a boost? Go ahead, call upon me. Maybe I'll even let you go if you beg hard enough."
My time asking you for help is over. I'm to the point where I'd rather die like the rest of the Ashborns than ask for your help anymore.
As you wish. And as he goes to slam his head down again, boom, we're gonna go and transition over to Minas and Armos.
I float up 20 more feet in the air. I am shouting at Armos, "Good job, Armos! Keep him at bay. I'm gonna try and help him a bit more if I can." And I'm gonna use a bonus action Sanctuary. It's not gonna help him inside, but at least it'll keep these skeletons away from my boy. As you see, a few Sids kind of create a circle around Drell, and this magical force field of sorts surrounds Drell.
Where is Sid of the Ashborn specifically?
He is right in front of you, guarding you from the front. He's like leading the ritual.
With his wooden axe just like looking all around. It's coated in snow.
Yeah, he very quickly and hastily made his own version of your father's axe while we were here. And then I'm going to just shoot some normal arrows at these skeletons to the east, because that's all I can really do here. And that's going to be a 25 and a 26 to hit 2 of these skeletons to the east. There's going to be 11 and 9 points of damage.
Those 2 skeletons, as they connect, you see that you're just landing headshots, because it's next to impossible to miss these because of how dense these skeletons are coming at you in waves. You're hitting and they're just falling to the floor, and as quick as you're dropping them, new skeletons appear back. And now that they're getting closer, you don't just see a generic skeletons, you're seeing various skeletons. You see Koatoas, you see goblins, you see various humanoids, and other various familiar creatures.
And then as I finish shooting, you see my swirl of Sids floating beneath me kind of create a haze around me and Drell in this 40-foot range as they're giving me a bit of cover.
And as we shift over to Initiative 10, you see that a scurry of small skeletal insects rush out. And they look like skeletons of little rust bugs, and they are charging towards your position. Armos, because you're still on the floor, make me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can get out of the way of these rust bugs.
9.
9. So you're gonna take 8 points of piercing damage. All these tiny skeletal rust bugs swirl and tornado around your feet, and they're biting at you, and they're like nipping through your boots, and like they're crawling up your leg. You're shooting them off, you're knocking them away, but they're coming at you. And then while staying on Initiative 10, you see all these other skeletons are now advancing towards you, and you even see that some of them are throwing bones at you. Minas, make me a dexterity saving throw as like all these bones like clubs in the wind just being hailed onto your direction.
Dexterity saving throw. That was absolutely abysmal. That is going to be a 13 plus a d4. That's going to be a 16.
16, you successfully dodge out of the way of all of the bones as they're just like hailing down. Then we're gonna go to Armos's initiative.
Menace is how many feet above us?
40.
You would. Get back down here, Menace.
I need to see what I'm hitting.
There's tons of stuff all around us. Get back down here right now.
You're invisible. You can deal with it.
Don't make me come up there. All right. Really screwed me up here, Menace. All right. Now that Armos is like completely surrounded at this point from skeletons and rust bugs and displacer beasts and all sorts of things, he's going to cast from his staff Wall of Fire.
Yeah, where are you creating it?
Armos goes and draws a line with his staff, and then it ignites a wall of flame in front of him on the opposite direction of where Drell is. So Drell is to his east. The wall of flame is going to be going off to the west to take apart anything coming from that direction for the moment.
You ignite this wall of flame, and all these skeletons begin to burn up, and you hear as skeletons are like just running into the wall.
And then for my bonus action, I yell at Menace, Menace, we don't have time to play around. Get the hell down here.
We're gonna go back up to initiative 13. We're gonna go back to Drell and Edgar as Drell is still grappled in Edgar's mouth. We're gonna go to Edgar's turn, and he is going to repeat his action. Instead of doing his breath, he's going to slam down twice. Boom, boom, straight into the floor. You're going to take 36 points of bludgeoning damage from those two attacks. Boom, and you see that now his like claws are like grappled into the floor, like he has firm footing, and he's just repeating this over and over again as you appear helpless to this advance.
Okay. Well, I feel like I have to literally spend. Fuck. Okay, I gotta get out of this. So I gotta make another check to try to get out. That is a 24.
He rolled an 11. You get your hands in there and you rip his mouth open as he's trying to keep it shut, and your hands are bleeding as you're just grabbing onto his teeth. Ugh. What does that sound like as you just try prying its mouth open?
I don't know. I feel like you'd be like, I am not gonna let you kill me like you killed everyone else. I'm gonna ruin and end your fucking life. That's just what I say to him as I'm like slowly prying the jaws to get out of his mouth.
You pry its mouth open, and as you make just enough room, you let go and you fall down to the floor as you are now free from the draconic maw. And you hear this ferocious snap as he just barely missed catching you. As you fall through its mouth, land on the floor, you are prone for a moment. You go to get up, and you are very hurt by this. The fact that he just released you from its mouth opened up a whole new set of wounds. And it's just like, although you are not bleeding, you feel like your stomach is torn to shreds. Menace and Armos on your side, you see that a lot more blood is coming out. Although his physical body is not reacting, Drell, you feel like your insides are twisted.
Okay.
And as you go to get up, you see this translucent hand in front of you. Black tattoos knuckle all the way up to its forearm in a similar pattern to yours, a similar theme. But rather than blue tattoos, they are all black. You do recognize these tattoos of an Ashborn pattern. And its hand is reaching out to you as if it's trying to help you.
Then I will use some movement to reach out and grab the hand.
You grab his forearm as he grabs yours, and he helps you up. You look at this massive figure, and he's just a little bit taller than you by a couple of inches. Long black hair, frazzled beard, looks very unkempt. His tattoos are completely like pitch black, like midnight black, as they stretch and span over his body. He is not wearing a shirt, only a leather belt and furred pants, but his pants are like tattered at the knee. You see that the tattoos extend all the way down to his feet, and you see that his knuckles are completely tattooed over as well. And then you see his eyes. You do not see his pupils. His eyes are tattooed over. However, the tattoos around his eyes that match the rest of his body are off. They're actually moving as if they're ink blots. It looks like this weird blood, the same blood that you've been throwing up when you feel sick. The frost rot reacting. And you see some of the dried blood as if it's running mascara down his cheek, and you see some dried blood on the clothes that he's wearing, and some dried up on his mouth. And you see that he opens his mouth. He goes to speak. He says, "Son."
Oh my God. Dad, is that you?
Time to talk is later. You have your anger to deal with. And he points just past you, and you turn around and you see Edgar charging towards you. What are you doing with the last bit of your turn?
Okay, so I would like to use an offhand attack as a bonus action. Fuck, see, it's not helping me. It's a 12.
As we're gonna switch to Edgar's turn, as he is charging towards you, as you try to time your attack, but it still misses and he dodges out of the way, he's gonna go ahead and claw you with a 23 to hit and an 18 to miss. That first slash is gonna be 14 points of slashing damage, and then he misses with the second one.
Okay, and I would like to riposte that attack and fucking counter and try to hit him. Is literally me taking like a slash to the face, and then I guess I don't know if he sees Brax or not, but I'm just gonna look over at him, and then I'm gonna look at the dragon, and then I'm gonna fucking punch him straight in the dick. That's gonna be a 27.
You hit his general spot. Dragons or lizards, it's inside them. Just, I don't know why you would need that knowledge, but you have that knowledge. And you go ahead and punch him, and you hit for an additional 6 points of damage. You go, oh, cheap shot.
I will also, I get to roll a D8 though with that as well. And that's a 7, so 13 points of damage.
And then as it goes back to your turn officially, you notice that Brax had moved, but you didn't see him move. He had like appeared. He's on the side of the dragon rather than right next to you. And then you see that he's pointing to it. Looks like he's pointing to a specific spot, but you're not sure due to the size of the dragon. And then we're gonna go back to Armos and Minis on the outside. Minis, Armos, you see that Drell is dripping blood as we go to initiative 17, as you hear deep rumbles, echoing rumbles from the distance of bones off to the eastern side.
Armos, what should we do?
Get the shit down here.
And do what?
I got a plan. Just get down here.
Okay. I got 20 more feet of movement and I'm there.
Just fall.
Will I take fall damage from here?
Anything above 10 feet, so 20 feet, you would take 1d6 bludgeoning.
All right, I guess I'll do that.
Up.
And I'm gonna cast a bonus action healing word at 3rd level, because that's all I can really think to do for Drell right now. As I see the blood, I reach towards Drell, and some of my energy reaches, but not as much as I wish, and I give him 16 points of health back. And then with my main action, I'm going to just shoot at the 2 skeletons near me and Drell. That's gonna be a 25 and a 20 to hit for 8 and 11 points of damage. And if I need to, I can use SIDS on them.
These things are going down very easily. It's just very quantity over quality of skeletons. As you shoot them, you see like more in the distance are replacing the empty space, but these attacks are like somewhat keeping them at bay. As almost even feels himself being empowered from the wall of fire as they're still running into it mindlessly.
As my SIDS kind of like swirl around me, giving me partial cover around Drell, but I do still take the brunt of that force.
And then we're gonna move to initiative 10. As you hear the rumbles, you see barreling in from the eastern side as the Nolapede comes out as all these skeletons, as the skeleton of the Nolapede bursts from the distance and rushes across the field. Armos and Minis make me a dexterity saving throw as it tries to sideswipe you.
Now 20.
Ooh, that's a pass.
Hold on. I gotta roll my d4. 7. with the D4.
Oh my god.
That's a 7 with the D4. Yeah, that's gonna fail. As you
And
take,
I lose my wall also.
you failed that concentration check.
Yep.
You hate to see you're gonna take 20 points of slashing damage as the massive Gnolipede rushes over the field. And then in that similar motion, you see that visage again, just over the distance after this Gnolipede passed you. Minas, you see that the visage of the male Goliath is completely passed out onto the floor. The axe is stuck into the ground, and you see that Frostoon's soul has absorbed itself into the axe. And then you see that the body shifts. And then as the female Goliath seems to be fighting off skeletons, looks back in his horrified view, tries to go for the axe, is somehow restricted from grabbing it, and then makes her way back down the path that she came in, trying to make a run for it. And you get the impression that she's being overwhelmed. And then that's when the Gnolipede happens, and then we're gonna go to initiative 1, Armos.
The moment Minas finally falls to the ground, I go up to Drell with him as the center point of this, and I cast Wall of Force with me, Drell, and Minas inside of it. It's a 10-foot by 10-foot sphere or dome, basically, that is nothing can pass physically through the wall. It is immune to all damage and cannot be dispelled by magic.
Oh, and how long does this last?
10 minutes. Or until I break concentration.
You see that these skeletons are now like coming up to it and like stopping, and they're like banging on the wall of force. And then we're gonna go back to the top of the round. Minas, now that Armos had casted this, which lasts for about 10 minutes, what are you doing as you see these skeletons are rushing to your position?
Well, Minas is gonna keep trying to heal Drell since he sees some bleeding. He's just continuing to use as many spells slots as he can to cast Cure Wounds at lower levels now, as Drell takes 14 points of health back.
His wounds are healing. And then we're going to go back to you, Drell, as almost you continue your turn to maintain concentration on this wall of force. And the skeletons use their turn to approach you, and they're surrounding it, and they're like banging on it.
I look at Minas. I was like, Minas, I don't know, man. We could probably got to start thinking about using that portal or that scroll to get us the F out of here. I don't know what the hell's to do. We need Drell to hurry up. I'm running on low here. This might be the last little Hail Mary that we got.
Me too, but I don't think we can leave until this is situated. As I look towards Drell, very worried.
And as you look towards Drell, we gaze upon him as you transition back into the void, as it is now Drell's initiative. Drell, you see that Edgar is standing right in front of you, and you notice that Brax has moved. Your father has moved to the side of him, pointing at him as if he's trying to point out something specific. What are you doing on your initiative?
Can I make an investigation check or a perception to see what specifically he's pointing at?
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Nice. It's an 18.
You see that he points to the underbelly of the dragon, and there is a nasty scar that looks open, very wide. He's pointing at it as if he's suggesting that this is a weak spot. And now that he's pointed it out, you notice that his scales were jagged and cracked and uneven across his body. But now it seems that this looks like a very strong grapple point, and he's pointing out his weak spot.
I would like to use the rest of my movement to get over to that weak spot before I attack.
Where are you going? And he's like spinning and moving around in place, trying to get a better vantage point at you as you're trying to hide under him.
Just like, what do we have over here?
So if you're trying to grapple onto it, you're gonna have to make a grapple check.
Oh, so I have to grapple onto it before I can hit that spot?
It doesn't look like a spot to hit, it's a spot to rip open.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll grapple onto it then. It's a 29.
Yeah, you leagues and bounds over it. Holy shit. He got an 11. As you go under him, as he's like swiping at you, trying to get you with his tail, you jump up and you grab on, you latch onto it. With a 29, you have this firm grip, and then you see your father just beyond, and you see that he's like mimicking your movements, and he's like pantomiming, ripping open the chest. Go ahead and make me a strength check of a DC 18 to try to rip this dragon's chest open.
22.
as you rip its scale and you see the inside of the dragon, you see all the guts, the beating organs as you rip its muscle tissue open, as it takes several steps back. It goes up on its hind legs. It's like holding its stomach as it like coils up in a defensive position, and it flails its wings out. The tattered wings let out a large gust. He goes, "How dare you! You think," as he's like trying to hold in his blood, "you think you could really best me, the thing, your strength that makes you prevail through your worst trials?" And you see that as his wings flail out, red energy begin to fill the gaps of his wings. And now that your father had pointed this out, you're noticing various parts that look less stable than others, because he's very beaten up. There's a lot of places for you to grab, but you notice one very specifically. Since you've been fighting him, the punches you've been landing on him have been like damaging his scales. You really feel like you're making an impact as if you're using a weapon yourself, or just using your fist. And you notice this really nasty one, the scar on his eye, the one that you always notice when you've seen him. You think you can get a really good check on that one. And we're gonna go to Edgar's turn as he takes a few steps back in pain as you land and rip his chest open, and he is going to breathe lightning at you. Make me a dexterity saving throw as a bolt of lightning shoots out of his mouth.
It's a 17, but I get to roll with advantage, and I believe Bless also helps me out here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but I don't need it because that's a nat 20. I mean, I do need it, but it's don't get me wrong.
You're gonna take half damage here. You're gonna take half
right
damage
now.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Relax. Okay, my digital dice are doing you no favors right now, but my dice do not like you, as it rolled an 84 points of damage, but it's half to 42 as this massive lightning bolt shoots out like an arrow out of a ballista in a straight line. You dodge out of the way, just feeling the after effects of a shocking singe across your body. It leaves this nasty scar across you. You feel like it burned the left side of your body as you see Eggers is breathing heavily as it's using one hand to hold its stomach while the other one is like holding it up. So it's on 3 limbs and the fourth one is like holding it. And he's kind of like limping around like that. We're gonna move to your initiative.
So can I make my way to try to grapple his eye?
So to get up there, so now he's on like his hind legs a little bit. You would have to make an athletics check to try to get up to his face. And basically what that looks like is like you're fighting him and you're trying to bait him into that attack.
Okay, I would like to do that then. 16.
Bless?
It's not a saving throw. I don't think I get to use it. It's damage or saving throws, right? It's not checks.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm real sharking myself so much right now, but it's, it is what it is.
That is going to miss. You don't see he takes the bait with a 16 as you're trying to get up there. He goes to like swipe and you're trying to like climb on his arm, but he's a little too quick. But you still have your attack action. Like you could still punch him and stuff.
Since he's on his hind legs, I'm just going to try to punch him square in the stomach. That's a 23.
Hits.
That's a 21 and a 25. So it's 18 damage.
18 points of damage.
Actually, I would like to make one of those a menacing attack. When you hit with an attack weapon, you expend 1 superiority die, add to the total damage. Make a wisdom saving throw of a DC 18 on failure. The enemy is frightened until the end of my next turn. So he has to roll a DC 18 saving throw.
What kind of saving throw?
Wisdom.
17.
So he fails. So now he's frightened of me until my next turn.
Oh, that's good.
And he takes 8 additional damage.
You deal this nasty blow to him, and you get him like right in the open wound in between his massive claws. You punch him right into the stomach, and you see that he backs up. He's like snapping at you, and you see that he's like backing away. He does look frightened on some level. He's still a dragon, but you see that he's showing hesitation in his snaps. He's not fully extending his neck to actually try to get you as he's trying to taunt you away. And you notice that as that menacing attack lands, you know that you have the advantage on him. He doesn't seem as large anymore. You feel like now that he's scared of you, he's smaller. You see that he's like really holding himself together. And on his initiative, he's going to keep backing up. You see that he like backs up, he's like trying to snap at you. And as you have your hands up, trying to get in for another attack on your turn, we're going to shift over to Armos and Minus. Some time has passed since we're coming back to you two. 4 minutes has passed. And you see that Drell, like you're seeing smoke come off his body, but you see no flame. And you see that like a part of his clothes are tattered of some lingering effect that he had just dealt with. And now the outside of the dome, you see that all these skeletons have completely surrounded the base of the dome. You are completely surrounded on all sides. Then you notice something in the distance. You see the Nolopede, almost like a snake coming out and going in, using the bones as acting as if the bones are water. And then you see something larger, much larger, deep in the distance from the mountains, gargantuan, multiple heads of a Hydra. In the distance. You realize that yes, it is the skeleton of the false Hydra. From the displacer beast, various monsters, rust bugs, all these skeletons you'll be fighting. These aren't just any skeletons. These are the remains of all the creatures you have fought during your adventure. Somehow that the blood that spilled from Drell reanimated these, perhaps going off his memories.
Yeah, so since you said 4 rounds have passed?
Yes.
Can we say that I cast 4 Cure Wounds as those rounds have passed on Drell?
Yes. So you're doing that now, but I'll say that you can cast it 4 times for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're sitting there, you're tending to Drell's wounds. You're seeing
exactly.
As you're examining him, you're seeing these nicks and cuts and scrapes all over his body. You notice that as you're casting Cure Wounds, the 3rd time you're going to do it, your hands jolt back when he was hit with that lightning breath. You felt shocked for a moment. It didn't hurt you, but it definitely took you by surprise as you felt like a really nasty static shock.
As Joel gets 51 points of health back between those rounds.
Nice.
I like to think that he glows a little bit with each cast on the inside.
Armos, what's going through your mind right now?
Armos is weighing in every spell possibility in case this goes down. He's thinking of contingency plans in case things happen, and he is quickly coming to the realization that we might need to start using that spell to get the F out of here. He's not too worried right now because he's on the, we're still at 4 minutes. You know what I mean? He feels like he's doing really well, able to hold it for quite a bit longer, but he knows that there is a time limit and it is ticking down quickly.
Oh, yes.
Minus has been hyper-focused on healing Drell, so he hasn't looked up, and he's just like, Armos, move! Your shadow's getting in the way. It's hard to see where his wounds are coming. As all the skeletons create shadows as they cover the dome.
Yep, you keep doing that as I'm staring at the Hydras just trying to keep it cool. Yep, you do that. I just pictured that there's a Nolopede, a Hydra, all facing Armos, and then Minus has his back to it all as he's working on Drell.
Exactly.
Oh man, what a scene that is.
And as the scene shifts back to Drell, it is your initiative as Edgar used its turn to back away from you.
Okay, I will say, wait, what happened to the big, brave, angry dragon?
I'm still here, and you'll need me as you continue. You're going to regret this. You think you're anything without me? You think any of your clan is anything without me? I put you on the map.
Drell just doesn't even respond to that, and he starts trying to climb up him again to get to the eye.
Yeah, you notice that he from huge to large, because his size has reduced.
Do I still need to grapple onto them, or can I just try to...
Yes, he's backing away, so go ahead and make a grapple check.
Oh. I'm going to use my very last luck point to re-roll that nat 1. That's better. That's a 22.
He rolled a 12. As you see that as you're walking towards him, not even worried. You don't even have your defensive stance up. You know he's scared of you. And he's snapping at you. And you're shifting out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that on the side of him is Brax with his arms crossed, watching And as he goes in for that bite attack, trying to scare you off, you catch him by the horn and like you wrap your arm around him. He lunges back. You're in the air now. So you're on the back of his head using the horn as like a leverage point, and you grab from the top of his eye and the bottom of his eye. And I'm going to need you to make me a strength check as you try to pry the skull, his eyelids open, as you see he's clawing onto you, trying to get you off his face.
That is a 24.
You rolled a 5. You grab his eye and you rip it open. Not only do you rip the scales off, you crack the skull of the dragon. As you hear a terrifying roar as it flails, as you land to the ground, holding a piece of the dragon's head, the top of his eye, as it flails around, lightning sparks out of his mouth, his wings flail. You see that he's trying to claw at you wildly, and with the last claw attack, spins and lands onto his back as his neck unfurls at your feet.
Before he dies, I would like to think that as I'm ripping off his eye, I say to him,
The Ashborn were great before you, and they'll be great after you.
and I just fucking rip his eye out.
No, one day you'll see it my way.
As you rip his eye open and his head furls out as it lands in front of you, as you hold a fragment of its skull.
Oh, I gotta save this one for Armos.
Yes.
As you see Brax standing off to the side, your father, no longer in combat. The area around you begins to illuminate, and there's still an empty space, but you notice the axe in the center, what you believe is the center of this void. Except it's not huge, it's not massive. It looks like it's meant for you to wield. And as it rests with its blade side down, sticking in the ground, standing up, it looks like it's ready for you to grab.
I look over at Brax.
You see that he looks at you, and as he walks towards you, he gives a clap.
Oh my god, he started the slow clap.
I didn't mean for it to sound like a slow clap, I'm so sorry.
He's totally my dad.
The plane landed. He has a smile, and you can see the wrinkles on his face as if he hasn't smiled in so long. As the dried blood rot leaking from his eyes crinkle in place as he smiles at you.
It's been so long since I was able to witness something so beautiful. Being trapped here within the axe with nothing but a hateful god to keep me company. I'm so glad your mother returned to you when she did.
Wait, you've been stuck in this axe?
Frostoon, that hellhound, tried to claim my axe, tried to bind its soul to our axe in a last attempt to stay alive.
And he points to the axe, and you see the axe has this radiant, holy feeling to it. It's acting as a light source in this empty room, but you definitely feel its holy radiance off of it, because you know that Scorius had crafted it.
It is a weapon of the gods, gifted to me to slay gods.
And he points and he gestures out to the open, and in the distance of the void, you see a slain Frostoon.
Up until a few moments ago, I had nothing but him to keep me company. Within the axe, I lived within the blade until you showed up, keeping him at bay. Your mother tried to warn me to not come here. We thought it was the only way to rid of this.
And he touches his eye, and the black blood leaking from his eyes come out like sticky ichor. And he like stretches it, and then you see that it solidifies as it like crusts over in his hands and then falls to the floor.
We thought we can find a cure by defeating the cause. See, our greatest mistake of our family was fighting that thing and accepting its help all those years ago.
He points to Edgar onto the floor. And then he looks at you, he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he looks into your eyes.
When you touched that blade for the first time, I felt connected to you. I've seen what you've seen. I've witnessed what you've witnessed up until this point. I've seen you slain dragons, fight various monsters, face Shadowfell. When you touched that blade out there, we became connected in here. In all my years of traveling with gods, fighting ferocious monsters, You've become better than I ever thought you could be, and went so much further in such a short, magnificent time. Not only slaying ferocious beasts, but making friends along the way. Allies, companions.
And he points towards the axe again. And you start to see like the world shaping around from the base of the axe. And you see your body kneeled in front of it with your hand on the blade, attuning to it. And you see Minas desperately trying to heal you, using everything he has left, giving you all these heals. And you notice that as you were healing up, the heals are becoming less and less potent. As you feel that like Minas is using it, is like tapping into the bottom of the well to keep you going. And then you see Armos maintaining this wall of force with this horde of skeletons surrounding you. And in the distance, as the vision expands around the axe, you see the skeleton of the Nolopede, the skeleton of the false Hydra in the distance, and how dark and gloomy it looks around them, and what your companions are doing to protect you in this moment.
Something I learned is that it didn't matter how many beasts and monsters I've killed, but what I'm truly thankful for is for Scoreus and Bowden to get me to this point, to carve the path for you to be here now.
Drell's still kind of caught off guard because this is like the first time he's talked to his dad in like forever.
Yeah.
So he's still kind of, he idolizes him. So I feel like he's still kind of starstruck. But at the same time, he's just really missed him. So he's just kind of like listening to him talk.
He sees that you're starstruck and like you're trying to get out words. And he realizes that you see like although he has a very stern face, there is a friendly aura about him. Although his face doesn't necessarily portray that, you do feel the sense of comfort. And he puts both his hands on your shoulders. It's like he looks at you face to face. You feel like you get a flashback. The last time he was doing this, you were 4 years old. You were just a tiny boy. He's like on his knees, and he puts his hands on you. And it's like the last time you saw him before him and your mother made that trip into the Valley of Winds, when he didn't return, when your mother just returned. And you feel that same comfort as you do now.
And he goes, my only regret was succumbing to the rage that he provided. I thought I needed him to beat this sickness, but I couldn't be any more wrong. People have told me and warned me over and over, my own sister, and yet I didn't listen. And to watch you fight Edgar and tear his face apart with such resolve makes everything worth it. And I would do this 100 times over to relive this moment again.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you.
Once you pick up that axe,
you see that like he's like holding back a little bit as he hears your voice.
Use the blade to not only slay magnificent beasts, use it to protect your allies. But I only ask of one thing of you, that when you're finished with the blade, when you return home, place it beside your mother's, as I wish to be with her one more time.
I think I can do that. Yeah, I think Aunt Dory would kill me if I got this axe and didn't put it back up there, so as soon as I'm done using it, it's the first thing I'll do.
And you see that like he's like choking up a little bit. And this is a first because you don't see Goliath cry. Ever. You can't remember anyone ever having a sorrowful moment. And then you see the frost rot tear down his face as it splashes onto the floor.
I'm glad I was able to have this one moment with you. And I'm glad you were able to claim the axe. Be fierce, swing strong, and grit those teeth.
I will.
He lets go of your shoulders and he pats you one more time. And like he gives you like a shake. Takes a deep breath through his nose. Go. And he taps you one more time and he points you to the blade.
I give him like a predator handshake and I start walking towards the blade.
The predator handshake echoes through the void. And as you walk towards the blade, you still hear the reverberations. And as you clasp onto the axe, take it out of the ground, you feel Brax's presence dissipate, but in a peaceful way.
I like to think right before I grab onto the axe, I look back at him and I say, "Oh, as you know, I've already met your friends. Scraeus is kind of cool, but Bowden's definitely a weirdo." And I grab the axe.
Takes time for him to grow on you.
And he disappears. And then as you come to, there is a blinding light from the other side. Almost, you feel this light across your back. Minus, you are blown back and you hit the wall of force on the other side. As this shift happens, with all the skeletons still banging onto the wall of force, the Hydra approaching. And then there's like this small thoom as all the little skeletons get knocked back. Bones shatter onto the floor. And as a giant wave, all the skeletons collapse like dominoes from the peninsula deep into the sea, where you see all the moving skeletons fall in a wave, and then it reaches the Nolipede, and the Nolipede shatters in the distance, and then you see the Hydra collapsing, all 5 of the heads. As the fog that once shrouded the Sea of Bones lifts and covers your eyes like dust, it begins to settle onto the peninsula. And then as it dissipates over the dome, it goes over to the Sea of Bones, where it rests once more. And then you see within the dome, Drell standing up, holding Brax's axe. You see that it begins to illuminate this glacial blue energy. Minas, you notice a tinge of gold. And Armos, you sense the Banelude energy washing away, as all the skeletons have completely been eliminated. And as all the skeletons dissipate, that is where we're going to end this arc.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
The arc.
He's done it.
Get jazzed.
What a good episode.
What a good
I
arc.
was getting a little worried.
You were.
Oh, man.
I'm a little sweaty, I'm not going to lie.
I
Going
was doing
between
6 damage per fucking.
Oh, man. The things I could have done to help you. It's great.
Yo, shout out Tony though for all the juggling he did this episode though.
Yeah, shout out to him DMing as well. Who knew he could juggle balls while DMing?
Yeah, dude. Hey, way to juggle balls, man.
I love balls. That's the end of arc 7, boys. I'm sweating a little bit, I'm not going to lie. That was more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
7 arcs.
Wait. There's something you're forgetting. We leveled?
We what?
Leveled?
Huh?
We just killed a god, right?
Huh?
Like, I mean...
Huh?
And we killed Drell's like
What? Who?
giant curse dragon.
What?
Yeah.
Well, he did.
I don't know what you guys are saying, but you guys level up, by the way.
Oh!
You are now level 16, going into arc 8.
If you said no, I would have made a case for at least Drell leveling up.
Oh, my God.
Drell boxed
Oh,
a
my
dragon.
God.
Right. I don't care if I get it. He needs to get it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
I think the first thing Drell does is look for the skeleton of the squid monster he killed in the even though squids don't have skeletons,
Which is why it wasn't there.
yeah, he's like, oh fuck, okay, thank God.
I did Google it. You just see a squid latch onto the dome.
Yeah.
I did Google if squids have bones.
No, they don't.
But how crazy was all the skeletons attacking you? I took you by surprise with that one, right? Right, guys? Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Totally didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I
though.
didn't spoil it before you accidentally spoil it.
Definitely didn't accidentally say that. What do you guys think about the skeletons, huh? The what?
The what?
No, he was like, you guys are going to be busy with the horde of skeletons. And we were like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
I don't think this was recorded, but everyone listening, he said that before the podcast started. And we were all just like
30 seconds before the session. Like,
It's like we're about to record and you guys are about to fight a bunch of skeletons. And we're like, wait, what? Hang
Didn't
on.
I say that? No, you did not. I thought I said that last time.
Well, we were just like finalizing the recap, so it's like I always ask, like, does everybody remember what happened last session? Does any questions? And then it's like, you guys are being surrounded by skeletons. You're like, huh? I'm like, oh fuck.
Like the clues were there, but
Yeah, I think I telegraphed it pretty well. You know, I don't think
I thought it was going to be a bunch of wolves and things like that. I didn't realize it was going to be like skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, so Frostune had died, so like technically those were just the ghost of wolves watching over. But I thought it would be really dope through the Sea of Bones, like doing like a callback to all these cool monsters that you fought.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
I felt like when I introduced the Novopede, it was a little cheese,
Well,
but
let's not explain it all here. Let's get into the after show.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it's the end of Arcade. Great job, y'all. Level 16 now. Y'all have the powers of gods. You guys gonna see a big power spike this level, I feel.
Mhm.
Level 16 is kind of a biggie, I believe, for most classes. Not looking forward to it from a DM's perspective, but congratulations. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. You got Drell's father's axe. Rax's axe.
nice.
Drell finally got to talk to his
Feel
father.
like I'll talk about in the after show what I'm leveling because I'm a little multi-class guy.
Yeah. Well, Armos is going to get a huge power spike.
Oh yeah.
Before we head out, is there any recommendations?
No, this episode we're just not going to recommend anything.
None?
No, none of us. No.
None? Nobody?
It's actually the audience's turn. You recommend something in the Discord and let us know what we should be watching.
We recommend you go to the Discord and recommend us things.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, then. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to the Patreon shoutouts. Fellas, why don't you go ahead and give us your best,
Ashbourne, goodbye.
yeah, best Ashbourne goodbye. Could have said it better myself, Dan. Thank you.
Bye.
Predator handshake.
Later.
Dear patrons, I have received many wonderful letters back from you all about how much you liked and disliked my gifts. I'm glad at the very least they arrived okay. But today, I would like to thank you all for the support you have provided to the FFCS ATMF, also known as the Far-Fetched Courier Services Aotetero Memorial Fund. I'm going through all the donations and gifts now, starting with the Shadow Smugglers. Hello again, the Dread. Can't help but notice you haven't written back at all. Just hoping you aren't eternally lost in another dimension. Well, just in case you are in some unescapable realm, here is a planeshift scroll I borrowed from Lord Bearspider, and if there is anything at all you are able to donate, please provide. Alara, thank you so much for your efficient donation of gold pieces. They will be sent to Ao's family as soon as possible. Thank you as well for sending me the pieces of the vase I broke. I was going to come back and fix it eventually, but this was a welcome reminder and saved us a lot of time. Sid, I just mended that back together. Come on. Hi, Reese. I can't thank you enough for offering to play at Ao's funeral service. Sheet music is like a different language to me, but I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful lute piece nonetheless. See me when you arrive, and I will help you set up your instruments. Julius, I did not send you a letter requesting anything, so it's shocking to me that you have offered to oversee the burial service. Yeah, so we totally trust you to do that. So I have sent you the accurate, correct address of the funeral that is deep in the Kambuki Isles, far away from here. Next are the Bloodshard Bandits. You all responded so quickly to our letter and are doing right by the Bloodshard Bandit name. Morganuthil, it means the world to me, and I'm sure Ao's family, that you have offered to stop by with your familiar to work as a therapy fox for the next few weeks. In a time like this, simply being there with comfort and love can make the difference. Artemis, another amazing offer of services. It will be incredibly helpful to have you guarding the funeral procession and the family for the next few weeks with Morgan. I will make sure to send my mom's baked goods with you. There is no one else I trust more to deliver them safely. Rains, thank you for offering to eat all the bugs in the surrounding area before we arrive. I didn't know it would be held close to a swamp, so if we can avoid any and all distractions, that will help the family in their time of need. Rommel, your bouquet of flowers and note are so nice. the section where you wrote about Ao's letters breathing life into people's lives? And like the trees they used to be were so touching. Sly, thank you tenfold for accepting my strange request to follow Julius and keep him away from the funeral. Take the were-sids, and if you get caught, alert us immediately. The fruit basket was also very nice. Tanner, another donation to the fund. I am forever grateful. This money will help pay for the service and much more. Also, please, we still need your dimensions for the Bloodshard Bandits uniform, so message us back ASAP. Next are the Sidja College alumni. Your contributions are very thoughtful. Andrew Hall, what a thoughtful idea to edit together everyone's memories of Ao into a crystal ball for the family to see. You have come a long way since freshman year, and it shows. Also, Drell and I would like to hire you to edit together a workout crystal ball and highlight reel from our adventures, so let me know your rates. Craig Dawnbringer, I heard you are new to Humbrea, so it means even more that you want to help someone you barely knew. It's great to have someone like you helping with the setup. If you want to help in more unique ways, message me again with more information about your skill sets. Patrick Wennerstrom, also known as Punk, Reese mentioned you would be helping with the music. I know it's not the type of music you normally play, but it means so much to us all. Plus, the guards said they would drop your bounty if you helped. So, that's nice. Robert, Mongo. It was so nice to offer your strength. There are so many wooden beams and chairs that need to be built beforehand, and I can't think of a better giant to help. Saint Chaos. Glad to hear you are reformed, in a way. We are also very happy to hear you will be providing a few casks of your famous wine for the reception. Drell seemed a bit too happy about it, actually, but regardless, we can't thank you enough. Sergio Rodriguez, I was told you will be delivering a letter from the Queen of Aramor herself. It was written to the family? I don't know how you pulled that one off, but I like you a little more as the days go on, Redguard or not. And last, but certainly not least, are the Humbrea's heroes. Sky Guy, thank you for using your warlock abilities to keep the skies clear during the funeral. There's another warlock named Jesus who will be helping you with some of the magic stuff, so look out for a frosty-looking dragonborn when you arrive. Drown the Barbarian, many thanks for offering to help barbecue at the reception. I've heard good things about your brisket. And with Glass, we need wine glasses for the reception. Think you can take care of that? Thomocles, I heard you are a barbarian, but a crier like me. Thanks for bringing the tissues. We will need a lot. John Carroll, thank you for your 10 gold donation. Please provide more info about yourself in the guest book. Johnny Tar, your Pazushi recipe sounds delightful. I can't wait to try it at the reception and eat away my sorrows. Mr. Boolean Julette, I heard you give great hugs. They will be needed, for sure. Cora Greenbottle, thank you for sending in art of Ao for the family. Wait, these look just like drawings I was going to send in. Weird. Odimel, it would be nice to have another cleric there, and thank you for sending your prayers. Ripcorded, thank you for taking time away from Rocket Boot League to attend. Your donations of gold from your last tournament are very generous. Hart, I am over the moon that you are using your druidic powers to make the greenery around the venue feel warm and welcoming. Ren Grizzly, the bugbear druid, will be helping you with the arrangements. Isker Storm, Armos heard you are a warlock and requested your help with some rituals beforehand, so look for the frustrated tiefling with horns. It warms my heart having so many amazing patrons supporting our cause and lifting up the community. If you want to help, like these adventurers have, please visit patreon.com/DND404 or visit our website at DND404.com. Much love, Minas Pebblewalker.